Hey folks, and welcome back to Sevtech Ages. So, I don't really know what I want to do today, except that I know I want to collect a whole lot of marble. And it is nighttime, of course. I want to collect a whole lot of marble so that I can start working on the... I don't even remember the name of it. Delphi, I think, maybe? But basically the big marble tower associated with Astral, so it's not just this weird pillory-ness that makes the place look ugly. Where best to get marble is probably going to be the deep dark, I think. I'm not totally sure on that. Alternatively, the twilight. Alternatively, just out here in this world. However, I think deep dark will be the first place to check for best results, since the whole thing is made of stone with no earth in the way to stop you from seeing what's there. Because we have no other way of detecting marble, obviously. At least I don't think we do. We might do. I'm gonna reserve total judgment for that one, but I think the situation is that we don't have any way of detecting plain blocks just yet. I think we might later on get access to a particular scanner. Here we go. Yes, yes, deep dark. Okay, so here we are in the deep dark. I'm not immediately seeing marble. I'm seeing lots of diorite. Maybe there is marble. Did I used to come here for marble in the first place? It's been a while, so I'm a little bit... my memory's a bit shocking in that regard. I think the reason I'm not seeing any marble might be because I've taken all the marble already. And we used it for the altar and whatnot. Because I think that's what that was there. Or was that... No, that might have been andesite. Yeah, it was. It was definitely andesite. Because we were using that for the aqueducts. These guys just keep getting more and more difficult, but that's okay. I'm gonna do some more quick looking around and then we'll go and check the Twilight Forest. Twilight Forest will be good because the Twilight Forest is more compact in terms of the earth. There's only so many layers of earth in the Twilight because it's very close to bedrock to begin with. Ow. I am definitely not seeing any marble in here, which is, you know. I'm sure I should probably be eating something else actually. Can we craft marble some way? It's plain astral sorcery marble. Can't be crafted. Chisel, chisel, everything is chisel. Yeah, looks like we just got to find it in the world. And I'm totally blanking on where we got the marble for the original altar as well. I think we might have got it from the overworld. And without going back and checking the recordings, I'm not entirely certain. So we've got to do this whole thing all over again, or at least I do. You guys can just yell at the screen and tell me where I got it from in the first place. Excusez-moi. Why is this being so hard to climb? And now I'm on the wrong side. Please. Please. No, though. No, though. Alright. See, this is what I get for not doing my due diligence and just killing everything around here so it can't bother me. Speaking of dietary requirements, protein. Do I have any protein? I have a little bit of cooked fish left. I really need to do something about the whole protein situation. Let's put these back. Right. Climb it properly this time. Great. Once more in the overworld. So, I'm gonna do a quick look around here. See if there's any exposed marble. It doesn't seem to be. There's some exposed slate. That's not useful. All that really tells me is, yes, it's possible that there are mod stones in the overworld. The other place to try and find marble would probably be the in-between. That could always be a place to check, because that has lots and lots of limestone, I think. No, otherwise it would show up here. I was going to say, and I think that there might be marble in the in-between of in-between variety, but it doesn't look like it. Eat fish. Not intended. Donuts. What did I do? Donuts. Because we're going to need a considerable amount of marble for this. So I really want to figure out what the best way to get marble would be. Let's go back to looking at marble. Astral sorcery. There's basic marble. We don't have a link to craft it some way. All the various chisel ones. No, okay. So it's out there in the world somewhere. I was looking for, maybe it'll show up if do iron ore. No. Just enough resources? Just enough resources often tells you where you can find things. Things and stuff. It's a salt bed, which is far from marble. Yeah, alright, let's go to the Twilight and see if we can find it there. Alright, Twilight Forest. So, where'st is my marble? That's some clay. I really love the... I say it every time, and I'm sorry for the lag right now, but I really love the anti-knockback on this armor. It is the most satisfying thing. Knockback is one of the most frustrating things about Minecraft. If you ask my opinion. Go home. Or die. It's appropriate response too. Ender lad. You are not marble. I just need proof that marble exists somewhere. Has to exist, right? I didn't just make an altar out of nothing. Maybe I did make an altar out of nothing. Illuminati triangle. Please, water. You are the worst. Ha! There we go. My anti-knockback armor does not save me from water. Ender lad. I must shoot circle. I'm actually seeing less variety in stone here. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Twilight Forest isn't a good place for marble. There's a lot of dudes here. Be gone. Be gone, dudes. There's so much diorite. That makes me mad, because diorite is basically marble, except it's ugly marble. Too many dudes. Please, water. Why are these caves filled with so much water? Stop. Maybe I ought to review the achievements. Oh, maybe that's marble there. Please. It is. Okay, so marble is out there. In small amounts. Yeesh, we're gonna need a lot of this stuff. So now that I've actually found some marble with you guys on camera, I am going to go around and find some more, and then we're gonna see what we can get started with in terms of the Oracle of Delphi. So as it turns out, I should have just stuck to the caves under the base in the overworld, because one, they're already lit up thanks to my gosh, cave lantern thing from Astral Sorcery, and two, there just seems to be a more readily available abundancy of marble, and also I had some marble already back at the base, so I can just grab marble forever and get enough of it to at least get started, because I don't think we're gonna get anywhere near completing this thing in one episode. Let alone being halfway through the episode. However, I do think we'll at least get a layout, or at least I'll be able to communicate to y'all what I plan to do. Because I think the Oracle of Delphi, or whatever I believe is the Oracle of Delphi, I might be misassociating the name here. But anyway, there's a temple, and it's either is called the Oracle of Delphi or is dedicated to the Oracle of Delphi or something along those lines. And it is basically like a old Roman temple dedicated to prophecy. But our Oracle of Delphi is going to look absolutely nothing like the real thing, because it's going to be massive. The legit Oracle of Delphi I don't think is particularly huge, or at least compared to the scales we're working with. And also I believe is a lot more Roman, whereas is going to be more abstract, more based on the aesthetic of Astral Sorcery, rather than Roman architecture. Or at least I hope to. At the very least. And the whole thing isn't going to be marble. We're going to include things like sooty marble and accents here and there, of course. Probably things like gold and black accents, since that seems to be a lot of the thematic accents in Astral Sorcery. That and Midnight Blue. Although I'm not sure how we'd get that Midnight Blue. But yeah, as you can see, marble is everywhere underground in the overworld, or at least where we are. We should have plenty of it to move forward with. Oh, and I ought to apologise if my demeanour seems a bit strange this episode. It's a good opportunity to talk more, because a lot of you have asked me to talk more about mental health and stuff. This is what happens when I record on a day when I should be taking a mental health break. But I am choosing not to, because otherwise I would go far too long at this point without making a episode. So I'm gonna do it anyway. I should try to learn to be more relaxed about that and just let myself record on days like this anyway. But point is, it's a good opportunity to talk about disassociation. So right now, as I record this and am mining away at the rock here, I'm barely focusing on the screen, to be honest. And my demeanour seems stilted, possibly a little monotone, possibly a little lacking in energy. Because I am disassociating. And what does that mean? Well, that means different things for different people. But disassociating always has a similar thing in common, which is the person feels kind of a little bit detached from reality. And because I feel a little bit detached from reality, I also speak a little bit detached, like I'm a little bit like I am detached from reality. The way that I personally experience disassociation is I kind of feel like I am imagine your skull is a submarine or a spaceship, or rather the inside of your skull is like the cockpit of something like that, right? It's the inside of your skull is the cockpit of a big spaceship or a submarine or something like that. And you are a person inside that cockpit, and the windows for your cockpit are the eyes that you look out of, or in, you could imagine like the eye sockets are two portholes that you look out of. And that's kind of how I feel when I'm disassociating. I feel like I'm somebody who's like controlling Rosie, and is Rosie, but controlling the puppet that is Rosie, and kind of viewing things from as if I were inside a cockpit looking out of two portholes. Now, obviously I know that's not true, and I know that I am present and here on planet Earth, and a participant in reality, but you know, that's the difference when it comes to mental health stuff. That's the difference between reality versus feeling. I feel like that's what I'm experiencing, but that is clearly not what my senses are telling me. My senses are telling me I'm looking out my eyes just as I always do, and I'm controlling this game as I always do, and I'm talking as I always do. But you know, that feeling is something which is notoriously hard to describe, and also tends to take precedent over the way that you feel for the rest of the day. So there you go. That's some information about disassociation and feeling detached from reality. It's not like I feel detached from reality in a depressed way. It's I feel detached from reality in I literally feel like I am not part of reality, right? I am and I'm not. It's not like a total split. It's not like I'm 100% convinced, obviously, that I'm not a part of reality, but there you go. So, that's our first lay down of the the Delphi Temple. Somewhere in here I have a tape measure. That is packing tape and not a tape measure. Maybe if I remind myself what it looks like. I definitely had one of these, did I not? So I remember showing you guys the the water tower and showing you measurements and stuff using it. Maybe I've left it back here somewhere. If not, I'll have to make a new one. Oh well. Maybe it's one of those things that got lost in the great bag deletion of not being included in the Graves mod. Now, someone told me there was a way to search chests better than I'm doing right now, but I've forgotten what that information was, so thank you, but I'm sorry. Okay, we'll just make a new one. Tape measure. Because to tell you something that I'm not doing right now is counting. Because if you thought my math was bad originally, oh boy. When I'm in this kind of mindset, move over. It's a disaster. Surely I have some yellow plant somewhere. Do I? I do not. I have to go find a dandelion. Iron should be no big deal. We're not even gonna get much done on the framework. You just pop in and out of reality. It's very strange. This thing. Dandelion. Perfect. Hello. And here's another thing, right? About disassociation. If I don't sound like any of those things that I described, detached, monotone, you know, so on and so forth. If I sound normal to you, then that gives you an idea of the detachment that I'm experiencing, because I don't sound normal to me. If I do sound detached still though, that is also a good indicator. Either way is a good indicator. But do not worry about me. I must press that I am not in distress when this happens. It's just inconvenient. And as an entertainer, makes things a little more difficult because it's hard to be, as they say, on. Hard to be on, because it almost probably sounds like I'm a little bit high. Which makes a lot of sense, really, because if you're high, you're a little bit detached from reality anyway, aren't you? So makes a lot of sense. Unless you're taking uppers, in which case you're like super attached to reality in a way which is overwhelming to both yourself and others. Never mind that. Whoa, we're doing bits, huh? We are on bits mode. Let's not do bits mode. How do we clear this again? There we... Nope. 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 Yep. Block. Right. Is 15 meters. Which is an odd number, which is good, because I liked the aesthetic. I'm, you know, picturing things in my head already. I like the aesthetic of the length of that, so let's do 14 blocks out from here, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. because I don't trust myself at all, we're going to double check that that's 14, and it is. Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, counting with Rorax. I threw my pickaxe. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 13. Let's make sure we do not get interrupted. Excuse me. Wait a minute, sun's not even anywhere near going down. It feels like... maybe it's because of being underneath the altar, I'm not sure. But it feels like the afternoon light, right? Strange. So, we're not going to do a circle here. Because circles are overrated for towers, to be honest. And I don't mean that. I quite like circles for towers, but I'm trying to encourage myself not to do circles for towers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide. That would be pretty cool. Yeah. Let's make that 9. Because, believe it or not, that's going to be a wall. Let's do that here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yes, we will be moving this. I quite liked doing this, but for some reason, as you saw, maybe you saw, at the end of the last episode when I did the questions, I did not come out here when I went back through the portal. I don't trust myself. You look longer than 14. No, that is the correct length. Never mind. 2, 3, 4. But yeah, we'll just move this near the portal somewhere. I think we might put the nether portal in the basement of the tower. But also there is precedent to put it in the evil tower, the abyssal tower, once we actually get to making that as well. So we shall see. What I might do is I might take a quick moment after I've put the end on that other bit here to show you a little bit of what I have in mind for the overall silhouette of the tower. If I can pull it off or not. Just moving those so that I can build inward when I need to. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just gonna do that, and I am finally gonna be able to use the sleeping bag. You only sleep at night, huh? Well, it's coming. Any second now. Oh, that's the tape measure. There we go. Cool. Right, so let's go over here. Go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's just making a little miniature model here. And these are the doorways that I've just made, okay? So my idea is we'll have a set of stairs which will no, I've done it incorrectly there. Which will come around Nope. Incorrect. Also incorrect. Yeah. We'll take that off. Now that looks a little bit wonky, but you'll get it, I promise. Then I want to do this one, I believe. Here. So obviously it's not going to be all as horribly trapped as all this is. What have I done? What have I done? Oh, I see. Yeah. So, you will have two sets of stairs. Kind of wish I used a different material other than marble here. But follow my mouse pointer as I go up here. So you're going to have one set of stairs that comes around here and then curves up and around 90 degrees and continues up into the tower. Now, I don't know how many times this set of stairs is going to wrap around on its way up to the top, but maybe it'll make one turn, maybe it'll make two. I imagine it'll only end up making one, just like this. But I think the top will be taller. And then you're going to have a second set of stairs that does the same thing, turns 90 degrees and goes through the other side of the other side of the thing. So basically you're going to have these two sets of stairs that pass each other through the middle of the tower, come out, turn 90 degrees, and then pass each other again through the middle of the tower, leaving two sides at any one point to be blank. So in this case it's this side and this side is blank, and after the 90-degree turn it's the two sides that the stairs started on, right? So it's constantly making this kind of pass through itself. But that's what we're going to try doing. I don't know how it's going to actually end up looking, but I want all this marble back, thank you very much. It's very important. It's all going to go towards the construction of the tower. That's my plan anyway. I hope that description actually made any lick of sense. Even with the visual aid, I felt like that was a struggle. I didn't want to put that marble in there, or that cobblestone. But again, I might not just be trusting the words coming out of my mouth, so let me know if that made any sense. So we're going to go back this way, and the reason we're going to do that is because that's going to tell us how much room we have to work with on the outside. I'm going to try and get the bottom cross section done of the very, very bottom layer before we wrap up. And the two sides that aren't going to have stairs, they're just going to be flat walls, right? So if you're wondering where those are going to go, they're going to go nowhere. Literally. Oop. And now I'm trapped. Now we're just gonna go in here. Same with you. Doing that so I can get across. I may as well do it here so I can get across as well. And I fall in anyway. No! I imagine this is why people hate step assist, but I think step assist is far more worth than the minor inconvenience of falling in small gaps occasionally. Right, so I think in terms of this, you want to come out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Two, 3, 4, 5. Cool. I think that's right. We can double check. 4 and 4. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. So that's another interesting thing about mental health. This is the kind of situation where I end up being silent, normally. I'm just trying not to this episode. Or where I would just play games solo. It's just to get myself through whatever random disassociation I'm feeling. Because generally I don't feel like I can operate when I'm like this, but you know, part of doing this episode is proving to myself that I can. Hopefully that's working. Hopefully you guys are enjoying slightly high sounding Rosie. Not actually brought on by illicit drugs, but instead brought on by her own faculties. And now I'm just doing this because it's pattern, it's satisfying for the pattern. Even though this whole bottom part is probably going to be filled in. Letting myself get distracted. So yeah. Let's climb to the top and see if we can look down from one of the mirrors. Get an idea of what we're looking at. Can I get around here without too much? Ooh, baby, a triple. There we go. I mean, the cobble is kind of blocking the view. But yeah, that's going to work just fine, to be honest. I quite enjoy that. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. We shall see how this works out, shall we? Anyway, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you sticking with it. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.